All right, guys, today we're going to take a look at this beautiful old Yale. I've never seen one that was designed for a marine or a salty type environment. This one's heavy-duty marine lock. It is not brass. This is naval bronze. You could put this in a salty environment. There's very slight corrosion. You get some discoloration, but it won't rot on you like a steel lock would. This was sent in by Greg with some specific instructions, and this is where all of my viewers are going to get really pissed. There's no key for this. So when Greg looked inside of here, he said there's something broken off and wedged in the keyway. And indeed, I think you can see it right there. There is. I've done everything I can think of trying to get that out of there so I could try to make a key for this. No luck. Whatever it is totally wedged up inside of there. I thought also about punching out some pins and then disassembling it. Problem is when these locks are secure, in other words, when the shackle is closed, even if you punch these pins out, you can't disassemble it. Likewise, if you punch that pin out, as long as that side of the shackle is locked, it won't do you a bit of good. So I hate to do it. It is such a beautiful lock. But I have to follow Greg's instructions. He said, if you can't get that out of there, machine it open so I can see what is inside of that thing. So I get the feeling that maybe Greg broke that off, because he said he did try to pick it. So anyway, let me throw this on the milling machine and cut it open. Sorry, guys. Let's do it. All right, guys, I'm starting to see why Greg was getting frustrated with this thing. This is not a simple warded lock. The locking pawl right here, I machined this way, you kind of get an idea of how it fits in a groove. This is not spring-loaded. This is a solid lock between it. Put a screwdriver right in that little crack, give it a good twist, and this thing will not move. It appears, and we're going to have to do some more machining here to figure this out, there are 5 wafers here, and these are movable. In fact, before the machine cut them off, there were these 5 little copper prongs. I think you can see them right there. They were pushing down on all 5 of those. So apparently this is more like a lever lock than a wafer lock or a warded lock. I'm going to go ahead and let's learn as much as we can. I'm going to go ahead and machine the rest of this way to try to pull this out. Let's get a look at those wafers and see how this thing worked. That's very cool. I want to know how those wafers connect to that locking bar. All right, guys, let's figure this out together. Okay, I think I can just pop that shackle straight up now. Okay. This should now come apart, so we get rid of that machined off body. All right, there's a spring. Looks like a copper spring. Oops, sorry about that. Copper spring right there pushing on the locking bar, but again, it's not spring loaded. That's simply to push it over when it locks. And then these guys, you can see where these copper fingers push down from both sides on these wafers to keep them compressed. All right, I'm trying to figure out if I pull that rest of that copper pin out of there. It's not going to get us anything, I don't think. Nope. I think I have to pop the top of this off. There's little fingers holding this on there, and this is compressed with a, keep it centered, Bill. Little brass pins are holding this piece down. So I think I can pop the top of this off. Find a prior. Okay, then our actuator with the spring will come off. Okay, that's the spring for the shackle. There's the actuator with the spring that pushes it in place. And there is what's holding this whole mess together. It looks like a piece of something jammed in there. holding everything together. All right, so we have these 5 fingers that were held in place by the springs, and then you can see they're locked. So when you push against them with the key to align them from both sides to different heights, just like a wafer lock, you would eventually push them all out of the way, and the locking bar would then be able to slide over. How cool is that? Somebody put a lot of thought and a lot of money into building this thing. I can't imagine this would be cheap, even back in the day. Anyway, very cool. I'm sorry to have to destroy this, but there was really, you could see that thing was jammed in there and it was not coming out. So at least we got to learn something about these old locks. Anyway, guys, I appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay legal. Greg, there you go, sir. Did you lose this? Anyway, thanks, guys. What a mess. What a tough lock. Let's take a look at those wafers. I think we can, again, using, oh, wait a minute, they just slide right out of there. Check that out. So there are your cuts, and they all look to be almost identical. This one has had a rough life. Look at that. This one's got some, they've all got wear on them. Not a lot. But you know what? You actually had to line up these slots. That's what we were trying to line up. There are the slots right here. And when those slots line up, they line up with that bar from the locking gate and allow it to compress. See if I can line them up again. Probably not. Anyway, I think you see how that works. Once those bars are lined up, then the locking gate can compress against that spring and you would get an open. Man, each of these are machined. Each piece is intricately machined to fit in here. This must have been hand-fitted. Man. Thanks, guys.